we're picking back up with Echo Dawn. We're about to go visit the king. And here we are meeting the guard and heading into town for the first time to meet the king finally and find out what the story is. So apparently the king already knows us, and that's kind of funny because we have a memory problem. We can't really remember what's going on. So that's basically our main quest. We are off to find 4 different stones that are scattered throughout the world. And our current quest is travel west and meet with General Asani. And we're after the Aquaman. So the king's not really sure how this has happened, but it has happened. And that's kind of cool. There's a little bit of inner dialogue with one of his guards and the king himself. So we should probably check out the shop and see if we can gear up at all before we take off and find out what it's like to cross over to the west from where we're at. Taking a look through. I think definitely got to get the short bow up that range damage. There's a funny thing with the shop. You probably already noticed if you've played it all. You basically select the buy button or the sell button. And while you're on the buy button, obviously it lists the things you can buy, starting with weapons on the left, armor in the middle, items on the right, and those are all under the buy tab. So many times I've actually tapped buy again to buy it, and it doesn't do anything. It just reselects the buy tab. You actually have to hit confirm to buy. So it's a little nuance there. And likewise, you hit the sell tab, and you can click through things, check what does what, and you actually have to hit confirm to sell something off. And I mentioned it once before, but there's a little info button below each character, and that's kind of nice because it'll give you like detailed information of how this item or armor actually changes your character's statistics. And that's kind of nice, you know. You can choose different trade-offs, you know, speed versus harder damage versus whatever, you know. So for the Templar, I think I'm going to try both the Tomahawk and the Warhammer. The Tomahawk is ranged, and that's interesting to me because I can put him in the back row and reduce a lot of the damage he's taking. And if it's not really dropping the damage that I want to do, I'll give him the Warhammer, move him to the front row, and we can try to get some stun with people. And this Mage's Rod is pretty cool. Has an attribute on it that there's a chance it'll cast a fire spell as well. So that's kind of fun to play with. See how that thing works. Sell off some of my old gear. And again, love the indicators. Up arrows, down arrows equals. I know for sure, hey, somebody can use this or not. In this case, my marksman, I don't want using a shield because she's using a two-handed ranged weapon. So get rid of that thing. Alright, I think I'm geared up. I get to equip all this stuff. And after that, I'm going to throw down a save, and we're going to find out what it's like up here, what the monsters are like, if we have to do any grinding or not, just to get out of this zone. Well, I say zone, there's not really zones, it's open world as far as I can tell. But I'm well aware that you meet new monsters in a hurry, and it could get tough. So I'm throwing that ranged weapon on my Templar, putting him in the back row. Oh, and one more thing while I'm here. I got to get my Bard back into the back row because I checked and his whip is actually a ranged weapon. So no sense having him eat damage in the front row for no reason. Throw down a save. And sell off my old junk. That's right. I guess I could skip through all this stuff, but I think there's some people out there watching that might want to see what I'm doing to kind of get tips for how they might want to play. Okay, we got our quest, we're all set up. I'm actually going to break this real quick and we're going to head west in the next segment.